Hi guys, please welcome Graviton, a universal liquidity solution for wrapped assets with a seamless cross-chain experience. Can you guys introduce yourself? Who are you? What is your project about? For the community that never heard about Graviton?
Yeah, of course. I can introduce myself, and probably Ilya, you can follow me. So right now, the DeFi industry has one important issue, and the issue is there are many assets which are liquid or which are liquid on like centralized exchanges, but they're not liquid on different chains. So there are many types of assets like that. We call them lack of liquidity assets, lack of on-chain liquidity assets. And one of the example you already started is wrapped coins. For example, most of projects, they issued their coins on Ethereum, but right now we have many another different platforms which are also pretty popular. And most of projects, they don't have liquidity for their wrapped assets on those chains. And this is an issue. It means that the people, the users or those platforms, they don't have an access in decentralized way, in DeFi way into those assets. And there are actually many other types of tokens like that. First, for example, CEX coins. I mean the tokens of centralized exchanges. They also have only centralized exchange liquidity, but not on-chain liquidity on Ethereum or on other chains. Same thing with the exotic chains, right? Like Irga, who is our partner. It's a new blockchain. They have liquidity on centralized exchanges, but no DeFi liquidity. And also old projects from like, ICO type, ICO time. Right now, they also have CEX liquidity, but no DeFi liquidity. So this is an issue. There is like a huge space for assets and for traders to trade those assets in like DeFi services, DeFi decentralized exchanges, but they cannot do that. And we are solving this issue by introducing the universal relay token functionality, which is GTON, which is like utility token of the Graviton project. So, and it works really in very simple way. We are incentivizing people to provide liquidity for assets versus GTON. It could be native tokens versus GTON on all chains we are supporting. We are supporting many chains at the moment. And lack of liquidity assets, which is wrap coins as one of the most popular example, to the GTON. So having two IMM pools, GTON can work as relay token. In two transactions, any coin which is paired into the GTON become liquid. So we are solving this issue. And this is also important to notice that we are solving that by introducing the new concept of farming, which is called reflection farming. Reflection farming means we are distributing farming GTON as a reward coin only across the pools which already have GTON as a second currency, as a cool token for another token. And this led us to create like permissionless way to create farming for GTON. And as well, it's incentivizing people to provide liquidity and making those coins which are not liquid in DeFi, they can be liquid after that. So this is actually the basic idea. And we are working in a multi-chain, which means that relay functionality can be not only available within one chain, but also across all chains. And because GTON has its version on all popular chains, most often it is EVM chains, but we also made an integration with Solana and another non-EVM chains. So the same functionality and relay functionality will be available. So basically, summarizing, the Graviton is a framework which is introducing the universal multi-chain relay token, which works as a relay token on-chain between like two different assets within one chain and across the chains as well. So
correct me if I'm wrong. So users will be farming a GTON token, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't matter which blockchain you're using, it's just always be GTON token.
Yeah.
And GTON token is based on Ethereum network, or?
Originally, it issued on Ethereum, but we are using any swap bridges and ported it on Polygon, Binance Chain, Phantom, Avalanche, XDAI, Heka, and more chains will be. But right now we are liquid on 4 chains, which is Polygon, Binance Chain, Phantom, and Ethereum. Solana also has GTON. It's not liquid yet, but yeah, we'll try to reach as many chains as possible. But the most important thing is bridges. So we're trying to use the most trustful bridges for that.
Is there any other token utilization?
Yeah, of course, the governance function. So the most important is, of course, the relay functionality, right? Their token is needed. Its liquidity needed there to work as expected. Another thing is governance. We started as a DAO in the beginning. So we have like 300 DAO founding members. We call them early birds, like those who deposited funds into the DAO Treasury. And right now they are most token holders. Of course, right now the token is liquid and anyone can become the token holder and stake GTON in the governance and receive some staking rewards. But the most important functionality in terms of governance is proposals. Any changes within the allocations, within the decision making, within how DAO funds must be spent on which purposes and how to keep them, everything decided by governance voting. And yeah, this is like, you can also consider that as a governance token.
So Ilya, do you have anything to add on top of that?
Well, Alexei always does pretty, all-encompassing introductions. It's hard to add anything. But one of the things that I want to mention as well is that we, as a global mission, we aim to become a one-stop shop for any kind of cross-chain or multi-chain needs for people who want to try alternative networks. Because actually, we've had so much cross-chain experience. And we've been building different products on different blockchains, but we really clearly understand how difficult it is for a retail investor or for an ordinary user to get into those networks, even though they provide so many benefits versus Ethereum, for instance. And that's why we also address not only the issue of liquidity, but the issue of user experience. And we try to build products which are easy to use, which are seamless, which are fast. And that's something that is something that we are aspiring to do as well. So yeah, that would be my short addition to what Alexei has already said.
If I understand correctly, a user will be able to just jump into any blockchain that you have a bridge to?
In one click, yeah.
So can you repeat your question, because you broke up for me a little?
Oh, sorry. So I was asking if user would be available to just step into any blockchain like simultaneously?
I can answer. For EVM chains, this will be within one click. Because on EVM chains, you have EVM account, right? Ethereum account, and the same account will be for all EVM chains, like Phantom, Polygon, Binance Chain, and Heka, and those kind of like huge list of those chains, right? So we have, as I told you before, we have functionality of relay token, which is working on both chains. And imagine we have two pools, one Ethereum versus GTON on one chain, and another Polygon versus Matic versus GTON on another pool. So, but the coin is actually, the GTON is actually the like multi-chain, right? So for users, it will be one click deposit on its Polygon address. How it works, he just spending, if buying GTON converting into the virtual GTON on another chain, it's selling, and the exact amount of Matic deposited on his account. So it's just one click onboarding into the Matic and into another chains, EVM chains. We call it relay swap. Of course, it is not like possible in the beginning before there are huge liquidity on both sides to make it in optimal way. I mean, without huge slippage. But for blockchain exploration purposes, it works perfectly, because in the beginning, before you tested some dApps or like farms or a lending application on new chain, you are not willing to invest like big amounts, right? Because you don't have experience, you haven't tested yet. And before doing like huge deposits, you are doing exploration. So we are solving that exploration issue within one click. Within one click, you will have enough funds on your Matic or Phantom or Binance Chain or whatever, EVM chains, or even Solana after a couple of weeks. And you can just start exploring. You can buy some assets there. You can deposit it into the farm. You can do computations and everything. And if you're sure that everything works fine, you can use different ways how to migrate liquidity or different assets on this chain. But it's first of all exploration, and we are solving this issue.
Can I add something to what you said? I think, yeah, we do solve the exploration issue, but the concept of the relay token is something that was first introduced 3 or 4 years ago by a very large player called Bancor, and it didn't work back then because the nature of the market was different. The kind of products that were introduced into the market were not really. I'd say they were not up to par, up to standard, and so the market wasn't really ready for that kind of solution. But we strongly believe that right now creating a token, which would be in the middle for any cross-chain swap that you might want to do, is actually something that can work, that can have lots of traction. Because since Graviton will be liquid in all those different networks, and we will be providing that liquidity and ensuring that any pairs against GTON are going to be instantly liquid. That means that it actually it's awesome how this technological innovation actually translates to ease of use in products. So I mean, anyone can just go and do their cross-chain swaps, not only in the exploration mode, but actually to really use it as some kind of an alternative to an AMM DEX, but with the Graviton as a relay token, as Alexei mentioned.
Yeah. Can I add also like 2 points here? Thank you for mentioning the Bancor, because Bancor, the idea was genius, to be honest, really genius. The only thing, it was too early because the IMM market making wasn't popular at that time. It was a time for sex only, right? Only like last year, the situation changed, and a lot of liquidity and trade volumes going to the IMMs. So the time changed. Another thing is farming. Bancor introduced BNT as like universal relay token within one chain only, and without any incentivization for people to provide liquidity, right? Then you have farming, there is incentives, and it works pretty well, as we can see on Sushi example and Pancake and like most of the farms. And the third thing, sorry, it will be free, the multi-chain. Bancor was started only like within one chain. But right now we have many chains, and there are huge competition, and at the same time there is a demand for people to seamlessly use and switch between one network to another and have an access for most popular assets, or even for the new one on different platforms, because they have funds on all those chains right now, and it will only growing. And another thing, thanks Ilya for mentioning, the exploration it is right now. Until we don't have like billions of liquidity, there will be high slippage. It's just how math works, right? Math of IMM DEX. But 3 years ago, the Uniswap started from like several $K within one pool. It was like worthless even to do any trade in this pool, because high slippage. Imagine several K one side, several K another side, even like $100 swap. Changing price dramatically, right? But the most important thing is the network effect. The more liquidity joining, the better functionality is. So it's just a matter of time. Then the system reach enough liquidity, enough users to become like to have a phase transition to the like most commonly used thing. So exactly the same thing with the cross-chain relay swap we are introducing, and the GTON as a relay functionality. Of course, in the beginning, we just started. There is not so much liquidity, there is a high slippage and everything, but this exactly the same effect we can reach after a couple of months or a year. because the same network effect is reachable here. More people providing liquidity, the less slippage, more adoption, and it works like a positive feedback loop. So we are expecting this this thing, and then the liquidity will be enough. The products will be like almost the most comfortable for users and effortless for them to work with the different assets.
So how are you planning to attract those users to give you liquidity?
This is a very important question. We have special approach for that. We are working on two different ways. For example, first of all, it is farming. In the beginning, there will be huge incentives for people to provide liquidity because of farming rewards. And it's not damageable for the GTON because we are providing liquidity only for pools which has GTON as a pair in the proportion of GTON. So it's like reflection, right? It's like mixing concept between farming and staking, because it's basically staking, but there is another asset involved, and it changed some dynamics. Anyway, this is first approach, and the second approach is we are reaching projects which are sitting on one chain to help them to be available on another chains. So we are doing this type of partnership and integration with them to help them, assist them, because we have experience with the cross-chain bridges. We are working closely with AnySwap, and we know we have a lot of connections in different blockchain networks we are working right now. And for the projects, it's like B2B approach. We can offer how to not migrate, but how to create the wrapped assets of their coin on another chain, and how to boost some liquidity and initial awareness on those chains. So this is like a win-win situation. We are helping them and their audience, their awareness, like everything helping us. And we are trying to create this type of network because, yeah, it's like win-win situation. It's very rare that you can find the win-win situation, right? But here it is win-win because the project, they're not losing anything. They're only getting benefits because they have liquidity. Okay, it will be across the GTON as a relay coin, but anyway, it's liquidity. And if users, they're using routers, for example, 1-inch router and everything, they even don't understand how it works under the hood, because for them it will be buy coin like coin X for BNB or buying coin Z for USDT, whatever, on different chains. But under the hood there is a GTON and its liquidity and incentives. So it's like that. We are solving the problem which really exists. It's not exist for it's not like hype problem, because most of coins, they're not liquid, and it's like it's just users, like how users have access to the coins. Do they have or not? There are many popular coins which are growing, but people must go to centralized exchange, do verification, move funds there, keep funds there, and this is only approach for them how it works. We're gonna solve
whole decentralization, right?
Yes. Yeah, and we're gonna solve it, and everyone is winning here. So yeah, two approaches: incentives model, and at the same time integration machine. We call it integration machine, but it's basically how to attract the projects.
Can I add a couple more points about the incentivization programs that we have? So as Alexei mentioned, it's sort of a double-sided market, because we have B2B approach where we seek different kinds of projects or different tokens which seem to be not very liquid in DeFi, and we approach those people and we talk to them and we create partnerships. But then again, we need liquidity providers as well, and what we do is we actually start so-called catalyst programs, which are focused on creating a short-term liquidity boost for those projects. And each catalyst program usually lasts for 1 to 2 weeks, where we actually boost those Graviton LP rewards for those liquidity providers. And so if you want to find out more about how to participate as an LP or as a project, you can just go to our documentation or just ask about Graviton Catalyst. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, Catalyst. This is exactly how it named. We are catalyzing projects to be liquid on multi-chain, because multi-chain is the future. I mean, like we cannot gamble on which platform will be like a next Ethereum killer, and we don't have to. Like they all can be within one system, right?
I completely agree with that. Like the user experience of getting to Solana right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, we know. We know.
It's awesome.
Actually,
It's awesome blockchain, but how do you get there? Like, you know?
many steps, many steps.
Yeah. So guys, like I'm really excited about your project. Can you please share with the community about your roadmap? Like maybe some short, medium, long-term goals that you want to achieve?
Yeah, basically the roadmap. So we are DAO. I mean, there are many things which can be changed just because the market changed, and we're gonna vote for next proposal, right? We are like most of our activities we are doing according on the willing of the shareholders, because it's DAO. We cannot make like all decisions. But the most important thing is there are particle part and the product side. The product side we can easily share like then which functionality will be available. And right now, in terms of product, we are in alpha. I think like then the will be not 100% sure, but 99% sure that everything is secure and it works smoothly and everything. It will be announced as a public beta. We are also making focus on user experience, as Ilya mentioned, and as obviously we have to do. And imagine then we are trying to bring liquidity into non-liquid in DeFi assets, like low T assets. We call them low T assets. For users, it is very hard to make all those steps. For example, wrap assets from one chain to another using bridges. This is like one of the difficult thing. Another difficult thing is open IMM, deposit funds, and use LPs to stake LPs into the farm. So like 5 steps, and we have almost zero funnel.
Yeah.
Only like most enthusiastic people, which is like several hundreds across all chains, they can
Early adopters, that's it.
Yeah, they're early adopters and they know how it works. And we found that for mass adoption, it will not work like that. We don't have to, we don't have to ask users use bridges. It's just worthless. We don't have to do that. Instead, we have to use bridges in through our backend services. And one thing we have to do is we call this concept candy shop. Why it's candy shop? We can do everything for them, like wrap coins, put liquidity, stake liquidity into the farming, and we can actually sell those already staked LPs as an investment products, like candies, right? So users, they don't have to do it manually, all things. They can just buy it from the DAO. And right now we are preparing for the proposal, because in that situation we have to spend some treasury funds into buying those assets to keep enough liquidity for distribution for users. And then the proposal will be approved. I hope it will be approved. We will simplify the way of how users are farming, how they are staking, how they are working with the DeFi, in the in the way how they are buying on Amazon, because people like that. You're opening the candy shop, you're choosing different products, their performance, farming performance, price performance, volumes, how much volumes it was, and how much profit generated. And based on that configuration, based on that metrics, as an investor, you can just choose by one click. No need for wrapping coins.
But you already have a first user, I tell you.
So this is our goal actually, and but it's a product side. It doesn't have anything common into the protocol, because protocol is the tokenomic design, these kind of things, like conceptual thing. Product side is a bit different, and we can say what we will develop for that as well. So yeah, this is important thing. Also, we are going to aggregate different chains and different bridges. in one interface. We are going to, but the thing is, again, if then we'll build the candy shop the way how people are buying, why they have to use the bridges. So we are choosing between different options. So I can say about like the roadmap in the protocol means we'll release our protocol into the beta stage, which means that we will find the proper parameters for formulas. We'll do enough governance votes for make it like fully automated. This is only one huge milestone. Another thing is the product side. And for the product side, there is no milestones because our goal is to find the best solution like for users and deliver this as fast as possible. And we have a vision, but the steps can be different. The chains can be different and everything. We have R&D department, which are working closely with on the protocol side or on the product side with the new chains like Solana, Polka, and Cardano as well. And it's again very hard to say about roadmap just because the protocols themselves, they are not always working according to their roadmap. For example, Cardano doesn't have smart contracts yet in the mainnet. It will be soon, but again, also Polkadot, there is no parachains. So again, we are waiting for the parachains and how they will work. And yeah, the R&D department depends on the functionality. So, but anyway, our focus is pretty clear, like multi-chain, effortless DeFi. And yeah, this is like that.
All right, Ilya, do you have anything to add on top of that? And then we can move to G.Crypto questions.
Well, first of all, I wanted to mention that Candy Shop isn't the final naming of this product. Something that will also be decided.
But I like it.
Yeah, everyone like it, but
everyone but the core team, right? But anyway, I just wanted to mention one thing, maybe just add an idea. Alexei, would you want to talk about Pathway at all? Because I haven't heard you mention that. It's one of the things that we actually have on our roadmap. It's a collateral management protocol because we have lots of different assets right now in our treasury, and we need to manage them somehow. And what we decided to do is to implement a multi-step sort of protocol, which would allow us to market make GTON and also to manage the assets in the treasury. And right now we have already we have already implemented the first stage of Pathway, which we do manually, but there will come a time where we will automate everything when it comes to market making and liquidity operations. Maybe Alexei wants to add something. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, we have treasury funds from like DAO funding members. And the most important thing is how to properly manage those funds for different purposes. And of course, one of the most important purpose is the liquidity for the GTON on different chains, the distribution between different native coins. Their GTON is liquid, and we have some model of like lower boundary. We agreed. After the voting, we agreed that we have some kind of like proposal of the capitalization growth to the next year, and the averaging like lower boundary must be supported by the funds from the treasury. So it's like some sort like some confidence level about how we care not only about the functionality of the product but also about the strategy of growth. But it's only like lower boundary. It's not about market fluctuation. Market fluctuation can happen anytime. It's like how the market works. But the treasury funds will be and they are already using as a support level for the GTON in the long term, in like 1 year. And of course, the reason is to always increase the capital into the treasury and work as effective as possible in terms of making the capitalization grow, liquidity grow, organic, right? Like doing different stuff, attracting clients, attracting the users to make it organic. But anyway, we are working again, as a DAO and as a product on both sides. So the pathway, it's actually how we call this type of management of liquidity and funds from the Treasury.
So to wrap everything up, things that I really liked about what you were saying is the bridges, first of all. This is like, I'm super excited about that. That the GTON token is not just there to be, but it's actually useful. And it's not used for like speculation for other users. You can actually use the token, which I really like. So I'm pretty excited about your project.
Thank you so much.
Maybe let's move to the community questions. Like we
of course.
were 200 questions and I've chose a few of them. So if you can answer those, that would be really helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
So the first question is, how will you solve the lack of cross-chain communication between different products and services? How will Graviton grow the liquidity of packaged assets originated from the Phantom network for Crossde? I guess you kind of already answered that, but maybe you can a little expand on that.
Can I start?
Sure.
Yeah, so the thing is, I think for some of the target destinations blockchains, or for some of the directions, this problem is already solved. And actually, it was already solved by us. We introduced a protocol which is called SUSI, which provides sort of like seamless cross-chain swaps between different blockchains. And what we want to do right now is we want to actually aggregate many other bridges in one product, which would allow for a very convenient user experience, where you can just go to a single web page and actually use this single dApp and do cross-chain swaps with different kinds of bridges, such as multi-chain XYZ or any swap bridges or RenVM bridges, and that's what we're working on the product side right now. So, Alexei, would you like to add anything else?
Yeah, again, the issue of multi-chain like composability, right? It's already solved by many players here. One of the like most loved and the most useful for us is AnySwap bridges, which are focusing on between like EVM versus EVM chains. But it doesn't work with the non-EVM and EVM chains because there is different infrastructure needed for that. And for those purposes, we have REN bridges, which are focusing on like UTXO chains like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and those type of chains into EVM. And also we have our own solution for Solana right now, for Solana and EVM chains, Solana, Waves, and Tron into the EVM chains. But there are many potential players here, like most of ecosystem providers, they have bridges. The only question is how they are secure, right? How they are trustful, decentralized, and yeah. In terms of the Graviton, we are bridge agnostic solution. I mean, the wrap coin doesn't matter which bridge, basically. But of course, in terms of like product development, we'll be focused on most trustful, most popular bridges here, because it's like one of the point of risk for anyone. And yeah, so the bridges, it's an actual infrastructure problem, and it will be solved as an infrastructure solution. But yeah, for us, it's like we are bridge agnostic, and we are always expecting new players on the scene to integrate them.
All right, so I think you answered the question. So the next question is, currently most investors only care about profits at the moment, but they ignore the long-term benefits. I already kind of mentioned that. So can you give some advice why they should hold your token?
No financial advice. Here is one important thing in crypto. Like if someone is promising you profit, 99 and 99% it's a scam, because like nobody in the position to promise profit. It's the worst thing ever. So there is no way we'll promise like, you know, the money for people who joined. What we can do is we can show the protocol design, the product design, our vision, and examples on the industry of the similar projects, which like pretty successful for the investors, right? And this way is actually much better. And what I can say that our approach is similar to something like Chainlink is doing, because the Chainlink is also like, you know, in the middle of many DeFi services, but it solved the data problem, not the liquidity issue. We are doing almost the same, but in the multi-chain, because, you know, the market changed and there are many players, and we are solving the liquidity issue for non-liquid DeFi assets. So yeah, this is actually how it works, and the approach is similar. The more integration we have, the more organic activity we have, the stronger all participants are. And of course, most often this is correlating with the market capitalization grow, with the liquidity grow, and, you know, those financial things. But anyway, no team members will promise any profit here. There will be APU, like you can have rewards in GTON, but like price of GTON, it's not a question of discussion. We have the pathway, as already mentioned, but the pathway is working like in averaging, like several months averaging window, just as a lower boundary, just as a way how to use the treasury funds. It's not about promising of the price. So no financial advice. Just make your own research, follow the vision. If you like it, there is a chance that you will be lucky. So
yeah, so my comment on that would be that it's a really fundamental project and it's a long-term project, so not a financial advice.
yeah, of course. Those questions about price are so funny.
Yeah. Leah, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I would actually fully agree with Alexei that you have to do your own research, and if you support the project in terms of its ideology, if you think that it's building something that in the future will have some usability and some utility, I think that's when you should enter a project, not because of your expectations of any profit. And so yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next question, and we have. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Can you please specify how LP farming solutions will create a reward-based economy around wrapped assets in Graviton?
I can answer, because like the question how is very difficult here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already answered within the question, right? So like
yeah, exactly. You should just strip away the first part and say that the LP farming solution will create a reward-based economy, right?
Yeah,
because
it's like
it's based on rewarding, right?
I guess we're done here.
But anyway, I like this question. In terms of like, you know, mind exercise, it's very nice because you're trying to understand like there is like what a specific part we have to answer. So what I can say that yeah, farming, the basically incentives in GTON, and the more you are providing liquidity, the more you have from the farming. Another thing is volumes. Then your liquidity providers, you have 0.3% from each trade operation, right? So the more volatile assets you are providing liquidity, the more income you are generating. And the last one is the LP price. You have both coins. If they are both growing, your synthetic product is also increasing in valuation. So it's like this is how it works. But yeah, the question is very nice. Like.
So, okay, let's go to the next one. Where and how do you keep Graviton DAO's Treasury fund safe and protected? Oh, that's a nice one. What is the importance of the team signatures and external advisor signature in a multi-account?
Perfect question. From the day one, we created the Gnosis Gnosis multi-sig wallet. And I recommend for everyone to use Gnosis because it's like one of the most comfortable thing to do. And we have 10 signature providers, and we need 6 of 10 to work with the funds. And the team doesn't have all keys from those 6. We have external advisors. They are from many popular projects like 1inch, Binance, Phantom as well, and some like social media influencers there. It's already mentioned in documentation. Probably the set of like signature providers will be changed in the future, because more people joining the project, more influencing advisors we have. So probably it will be changed. It will be several accounts, but the concept is pretty simple. We not just multi-sig with the team wallets and at the same time advisors wallets, just to prevent any kind of whatever attack, or even like, I don't know, just to keep funds safe. Of course, we have another multi-sigs which are for operations. Operations are very hard to do with the whole bunch of multi-sig providers, just because we need like fast coordination. If you're moving something from place one to another, we have to do it fast. So we have many team multi-sigs. There are several people from the team, they have access. But I think the more mature will be, the more external people will join this thing. First of all, we have to change our DAO structure, like not from token holder voting to some sort of consoles, like the governance roles with the biggest decision power, and people can just delegate their voting power to them. So most of them will also become like operational players, but we are not hurry. Like there is no rush with this thing, and we are doing that as it should. So yeah. Like majority of funds are in the main treasury, liquidity funds are in like small treasuries, and yeah, sometimes we have to use our own accounts for like experiments, testing, or deployment stuff and everything. So, but anyway, the biggest functionality is multi-sigs, and even in the product side, we have a lot of like backend services. Even the backend services, they're also working on the multi-sig. So. And like our approach is pretty simple. We cannot be 100% sure that there is no exploits in the system. No one sure. Like even like billion projects, they're not sure, as we know it for the recent hack, the biggest one. But what we can do, we are not keeping all funds within one contract. We are doing like multi-step operation. Biggest funds in the most secure multi-sig, small funds on like less secure, but it's also multi-sig. And then it's like, if it's needed, it's going to different smart contracts. And even if there is an exploit, we are losing just a small amount. And actually, it's not attractive for hacker to hack, because like, not a big win here. And we will change everything after the hack. So this is our approach. Use as many multi-sigs as it possible, create as multi-structured, multi-modal infrastructure as possible. So this is our approach to keep everything secure.
Okay. Ilya, do you have anything on top of that, or we go to the next one?
Let's go to the next one.
All right. So the next one, a guy asking, I read that Graviton team has developed a tool called Lenses. What works on EVM DEX? What is the working principle of Lenses, and how does it collect information about on-chain event or log in EVM DEXs?
I can answer that, I think. Yeah, so we worked actually so much with different kinds of pools, Uniswap v2 type pools mainly, and it provides some open REST API data, but it's hard to parse it as it is. So we have to sort of collect it and aggregate, and to be able to do some stuff with it, to analyze different on-chain data. And so that's why our team created a simple REST API that you can actually access or deploy yourself if you want to. And it works with, it actually aggregates data from different trackers, and such as, I'm not sure if I remember correctly if it works with something else besides Ethereum. I think it also works with Phantom. But anyway, you can just visit our Medium or our documentation to see how to use this tool, and actually integrate it into your own projects if you like.
All right. And I guess it would be the last question. So please tell us about private fundraise. Which funds do you have on board to support your project, and how are they going to support you?
Very important question, because it's important to answer. There is no private rounds for the Graviton. We started as a DAO. We are working as a DAO. We will continue work as a DAO. Even if we have so-called SPI allocation, like strategic partner and investors, it will be like investments into the treasury, into the DAO. So it will be like 100% transparent. Everything will be on public, and this is a way how we are developing the protocol, because it's multi-chain. It is based on like partnerships and integrations, and yeah, there is no private round, never will be. And yeah, we are also working on like different types of OTC solutions, but again, it will be done as a protocol extension, and all funds will go to the treasury, and the allocations which are like selling will be also from the treasury, not from the team. Team has a lock for the token for 1 year since the project start. So like there's no way for us to to speculate on that. And the majority of funds for like those type of raising rounds will be from Baker's allocation, and other allocations from the treasury. Like it will be clear, and all funds will come into the treasury, like public wallet. Everyone can see, multi-sig, everything. So this is must be clear, and yeah, no private raise here.
All right. So I guess that was all question that I have from G.Crypto. Do you have anything to add? Maybe some of like finalization, summarization?
Pretty good answers, actually. So again, let me speak about the vision. The Graviton is actually an infrastructural solution, right? We have a problem of non-liquid DeFi assets. Doesn't matter which source of like lack of liquidity. It can be wrapped assets from one chain to another, because they are not liquid within one chain, or those can be like popular coins which are liquid on centralized exchanges, but DeFi users, they don't have an access to that. And we have one solution which is universal and solving most of issues, and also creating an opportunities for the products, for the like products for effortless experience in multi-chain DeFi. So we are doing in both sides, right? And again, we have a DAO. It will be structured in a more complex way. We'll create like we'll actually proposing to make it more like investment DAO, because most of projects which will be within our Catalyst program must be supported also financially, right? We have to buy their coin. We have to create the LPs with those coins on different chains. And in that sense, we are starting working as a like VC DAO as well. And what I can say, from one side, there will be more products for effortless user experience. From another side, it is governance framework, how to actually reach that, how to change the protocol to make GTON like as liquid as possible, and at the same time to make the whole process in like as a viral thing. So yeah, this is our goal. We are not short term, like it's not like pump and dump thing. Because there is no reason for pump and dump at the moment. We need the like strong way to how to attract the projects to use the GTON as a relay coin for their own asset, and then bring more and more liquidity, and then it will be like obviously the top one universal solution for relay liquidity. Yeah, it was obvious for Bancor, but again, Bancor was in a different time. Right now, the time has much more
wrong timing.
Yes, and why it's best time right now? Because we have multi-chain already. Like it's not only if there are like dozens of chains right now which are competing with which has their own ecosystems, like multi-chain, right? Second thing is the farming. People, they know what is farming. They know how it works. They are incentivized to try to move liquidity there. There is no issues to teach them. So it should be easy. And the last one is AMM. The cross, like the DEX protocols, they are becoming more and more popular. They are actually attracting more liquidity, and it's like de facto standard right now, especially for the new projects and the investors who are looking for the gems there to buy and trade the coin, right? So those three things changed since the banker relay token idea, and we are trying to use this moment, this time, those changes for the new big thing. Thank you.
So thank you guys for the interview. It was very nice to meeting you. And again, for the community, this video is going to be available on the YouTube channel of Graviton and also at G.Crypto channel.
Awesome.
So,
thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the questions. Hope we'll often do that.
Yeah, thank you.